my stories. So I put my stories because I want people to know more about me and how I get to come into play music. So because people see about me, read about me, but they don't really get the whole story deep, because what is written is very literal about me and my career of music since when I was interested in playing music. The long time ago, there was somebody in our village, not very far from where we lived. His name is Binitembe, and Binitembe used to play drums, traditional drums. Many, there are like 8 drums, and plus he sings, and he has his own group too. They've got other drums and the people, they play and sing and they dance. I've never seen somebody since in my life from my tribe who played those drums like that. He made them sing. He was an incredible musician. During his time, I was still a young guy. I used to go in those village celebrations. That's where my knowledge of more about traditional music got into me, and the rhythms. It's because I was always there. Whenever they had anything, either it was a wedding or it was if there was a funeral or just celebrating, maybe a baby has been born and people are doing libation. The baby is taken out of the house and people drink and there's some music there and people will sing. That's our tradition. Nenda kochina ngonika kulengote, nenda kochili finika kulengote, nika tikidike papa panamaye, nika tikidike papa panamaye. Pate geni yiren boye ni mulongo. Pate geni yiren boye ni mulongo. Yefeke salama baba banamaye. Yefeke salama baba banamaye. Salama. Salamon, Salamon, Moni Bani Bebe, Salamon, Salamon. I like that. Nenda kumazela meta mudenga. Nibiwani salama. Means that wish me well and in my journey, and this is a business person. As I say, Mijiketa people of the coast, they are also fishermen and also they are businessmen, and they do all kinds of business. And in this case, this is somebody who is dealing with livestock, okay? This business of livestock here in the West too, the people who buy livestock and go and get them to go slaughter to sell for meat. The people who have livestock who just keep the livestock and when they have lots of them, they'll sell for, maybe they'll be taken to be sold for beef or, for people so they can eat, or some people just buy to have them for themselves. Maybe they want to raise their own, and so it's like that. This song is something like that, and this guy, so this person goes in this place and this village is gonna go in this place and this and this and this and this and where, which place and which place, and go and is looking for doing that business and to get the livestock to go home. You say cowboys? You're talking about cowboys. Cowboys, they're there in Africa. They're there. We used to chase cows and climb on in their back. You know, the African cows have a have a hip here in the back, and they've got horns and they can be very, very fierce. But we used to run in the back and jump, and then you hold into the horn, and the cattle will go. Some of them they are not very traveling. They will just take it easy and go with you, just as if it's fine. Some of them, they can take you into acacia trees. You know acacia trees? Acacia trees are very sharp thorns, and where we graze our livestock, there's a lot of green grass which grows, and rich grass is in acacia where there's acacia trees, and it's very rich there. That's why you see where places there's acacia trees, there are always animals hunting to try and catch cows or to catch goats or sheep, because they hide there and they can't be seen sometimes. Because the acacia trees, they grow big ones, and then there's small ones that can make little bushes too, and small trails to pass by. And if an animal is chasing another animal, that animal has no chance to run anywhere except to go straight or following the trail. And following the trail, if you miss, you're going. But we were careful, so, and we got used to riding on cows to rodeos. Now, I just want to tell you another story, because Mijikenda people, you know, they are farmers. They need to farm, and they have they'll plant May corn. They'll plant. They'll have fruits, you know, like mangoes, guavas, cashew nuts. Coconut trees, lots of them we have there, cassava, and all this also is food, and also is also for business. It's also sold for food. But Mijikenda people, they are indigenous people. Means they depend on what comes from their land most of the time. Political wise, I mean, they have improved a little nowadays, though there's still some issues still about lands there, because as the indigenous people need to have their lands too, as other people who have their lands since independence. So those are small issues too that are still holding up with my people where I come from, and I don't want to talk that much about governing or what. It's up to them. But my people there, they are really into talking about the problems about their lands, because they need to have lands, because most of the lands now have been sold, and their children and grandchildren who are growing up, that who later in the future they'll need to have a place to live. And if the lands are sold, then tomorrow they'll live there like squatters, you know. They'll go and stand maybe in a place and be told, oh no, you go away, move away, this is not your place. When they were original from that land, indigenous people of that land. So since independence, there's still issues with the coast people and the government concerning that. And I don't know so far how those issues are going right now, but I hope that they'll be solved one day. But the thing is, indigenous Mijikenda people, they don't like trouble. Indigenous people, they're like, how do I say, in Gandhi, they're like Gandhi. They want to solve matters by sense and talking and rights, because they don't see any issues of getting into taking weapons to go and fight for what now. And we're one nation, one people, So what we want is to have a good understanding. And in fact, my country has been a little problem with not racism, but tribalism in Kenya. Everybody knows that. It's been news and everything. And plus, not only that, look, we have a neighboring country, which is Tanzania, close to us. Very, very neighbor. We're very friends, great friends. But in Tanzania, they don't have no tribalism. Neither do they anything concerning religion to divide people. No, they don't do that. They are really straight one people. They're all Tanzanians, and they don't care about religion. Religion, if you got religion, later go and teach people later after government matters have been. When the government is there, then other things come later, but not to divide these people who are going to build that government is not right. So that's why in Tanzania, Dr. Julius Professor Nyerere, he said that, and that was a message that until today, that Tanzania, though they are a little challenged in capital-wise, with finances, but they still have good, they're doing very good, in fact, indeed, and the economy is even stronger. So, that's about just a little politics, that's what I'll tell you concerning. And in Tanzania, a good thing, now see, a president is a woman. There's a woman president now in Tanzania, and she's doing very good. People like her, and I hope that they keep on and continue and be, stronger more and more. And also Kenya to follow that route. Only Kenya, if you can forget about tribalism, well, they'll be number one country in Africa. Number one. They'll be like the strongest country and number one. They'll lead everywhere. So they have good culture, they have music, they have animals. In Kenya, if you go safari, you see elephants, you see lion in their nature. You see everything is there. You see hyenas, all these birds, like storks, marabou storks, and all, you see all of them in Nakuru, in all those big lakes, and flamingos. Oh my, and especially if you go in a rice season when they have come now down to Lake Nakuru, they do cover that lake. And when you look at this, it's all pink. You could draw a map of love in the pink. You see, I am from the coast, but because of music, too, in my country, because of other tribes, I get to learn. I learned even Kikuyu, which is the we call it as the first big language in Kenya, because our first president was Kikuyu. So to know a few words, to talk the language of my former president who got us independence is a good thing. And also, not only that, I worked with many Gikuyu people before. I played music with even their biggest star, who is my best friend, who is Joseph Camaro. Joseph Camaro used to see me as his son because Joseph Camaro, he did not have a child who played music. No. So when we traveled, Camaro looked at me as if I was his child, and whatever I play music, he wanted me to be very close to me. Whatever and he, of course, he had a son, but his son was not playing music, and he had a daughter too, also who I knew, but they were not playing music. They were doing something else. They were working at the store, our music store, in fact, helping sell the records, and they also used to make sure that when we get calls, when we're going to go and perform with Camaro, they take calls in the office there. Sometimes we were upstairs. Camaro used to, he used to have a store downstairs and upstairs. So upstairs, there was another space in upstairs where had his office, and on the side too, there was a rehearsal place. And that's where, in fact, there was a keyboard there. I started teaching myself how to play keyboard. It was in Camaro's studio. So, and how did I learn? Resembling with the guitar. Now, because the keyboard has a tune, is already tuned, so it was very easy for me. I don't have to tune that keyboard. So, and the keys were written, the names. The keys were written here, A, B, C, D. Oh, so I went first G. You see me, I started far first. G, this is G. And then, what is A? Because when I started playing guitar, I did not start on C or G. I started on key A. That's how I learned my guitar. So, that's the note of A. So, no. And I found it on the guitar. So when I played, that's A major. So I wanted to find how it plays. So, so I knew that. And I formed a chord there, right there. And that was a chord. And so I kept on even knowing to get a note, to know a minor chord. I know. So, and then after that, I just had to learn a small few things because I already knew the names of the chords, and all I had to do know how to transform and know how to play the music and sync with what is called the tempo of the music. So is the ways of going with it. And so I got to know how to use piano and to play different kinds of music too, just for my own knowledge. And that's how I got to start knowing. And of course, I got to come and learn more later from other people by looking at them and also giving me advice. Maybe play like this or do like this, or hold this chord like this or do like this, or maybe sometimes do a 4 fingers chord. I had one teacher who used to tell me that when I'm playing a piano, I should play full chords, which means four fingers or the 4 notes, instead of 3, which 3 notes are the full chord, in fact. So unless if there are 7 or something else inside it, but if it's one chord, it's 3 fingers most of the time. But he wanted to make it like how you are playing guitar exactly. You're playing 4 fingers, 4 notes in the guitar. And in which though on guitar you are using 3 fingers at the same time, but he wanted to use, I say full chord, that means like. So when you are playing A, you have to start from a from the left hand here and here, plus the right hand. So it fills the whole keyboard there. And so too, I learned from different teachers, just also for my own use. And sometimes too, I played in a band, and I was a keyboard player also. For a little while, I played in a beach hotels in Mombasa, in Severin Hotel, in fact, with a group called the Bonagis. We played reggae music of our own, and also we played also acoustic, sometimes music, and we went around when people were just eating in a cottage, because there's a beach hotel itself, and then there's a reservation, a place for dinner, and then there's cottage place also. They have another place for dining also. So that if the guests are not going to be at the main hotel, they're going to come. Today is at the cottage where they're going to have the dinner. So the whole place is packed. And at the cottage, I mean, I'm talking these restaurants, they're like as if they're in a garden, you know, and plus outdoors, and they have something, just a little covering, and when you can feel the wind from the ocean come very, very smoothly, and not the weather is not cold or ridiculous. No, in fact, we are feeling like a nice breeze that is satisfying you, and the music and the food, seafood most of the time, for the guests. So that was, I played dining music, and not only European or Western music world, we played our own African music for the guests, you know, like Hodi hodi brother, karibuni wageni, nimetoka mbali, kukufata wewe. Hodi hodi brother, karibuni wageni, nimetoka mbali, twawakaribisha. Hodi hodi brother, karibuni wageni. And when we were playing there at the beach, I mean, or at the cottage dining lounge, is we're walking around with the guitars. We have like 3 guitars, acoustic, and someone is playing. Is using a penny and a bottle. A Fanta bottle, it says crack, or a percussion, and then we do that, we get paid, and plus we get lots of tip, US dollars. And then we go back. See, I mean, musicians get paid when they work. They have to get paid. That's how it is, because that talent is their job. When somebody like me, I have children who have raised in music, and some of them are bigger, some of them have their children, some of them have their own jobs, and they're doing their own things. So music is my career, and as I'm saying, it's very, very interesting, because during my growing up, when I was traveling in my own country, Kenya, there was a time me and Joliba and another guy called Nijo, his name is John Gilo. Now this is because Harrison Siwale, who was the rhythm guitar player of Jamhuri Jazz, had given us another guy he introduced us to a person who had instruments. And then this guy, his name is Kimani, wanted to become our manager instead of just being the owner of the instruments that we're going to pay him. Somehow he grabbed that position to become a manager, while Harrison Siwale was the one who fit to be our manager because he was a musician first of all, and he knew about music first of all. This other guy knew nothing except only all he knows to be is just to be a boss. That's all. And the thing is, because I was still growing up I myself, so I wanted to see what's going to happen here. My two singers who were our band leaders, they were from another country. One was from Congo and one was from Rwanda. They sing in Swahili, they speak Swahili, and they speak, so we did all kinds of music. We did Swahili music, we did music in Congolese also, and we played in clubs. So, and our band was very good. So one day, Kimani said, I want to take you guys to a tour. That time we were playing in Bush Bar and then we left. So Katana, who used to play with Utawala band, before even he got into Utawala band, that time he had just come from Kilifi and he was playing at Bush Bar, and he didn't have that much to do, so he joined us and we traveled with him. He was singing also and playing lead guitar and playing 6/8 rhythm. That's what was he playing. Katana was only specialized in playing 6/8 guitar. That was all he played, and all his songs were 6/8 Katana in our group. So he sang very well, and me and him, when we were together, we just did a fantastic thing. So sometimes he played lead, sometimes he wanted him to play lead. Castana was a good guy. He sang very well, but he somehow he drank a lot, and he was very young. So would you imagine when you see me in that picture how young I used to look? And then we come and meet with another musician, and this guy, he drinks a lot. Anyway, we passed Nairobi, we left Mombasa with Kimani saying we were going to Karatina. We passed Nairobi, we stayed in Nairobi one day, we went to Kongoni Bar, we met Villa Negros playing there. I met my old folks who I knew a long time ago in Mombasa, who they used to play in Saba Saba Bar. That was Mzee Abdallah and his band, Villa Negros. Also they had a Mijikenda guy playing congas. His name was Juma, and I think the rhythm guitar too was Mijikenda. I can't remember his name, and Ramadan Kanimanda used to play saxophone for them. You see these musicians, Ramadan Kanimanda, he's in UK. He used to play with Virunga. Ramadan Kanimanda also recorded with us, with me and Salim Kadima in Sigalame Sound System. He played saxophone with Twahiri Mohammed, who passed away a long time ago. So these musicians, all they played with Les Wanyika a long time ago also. They were very, very well known. They were like saxophone players. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to cut my story here in short, but remember my stories next time, and I'll tell you more. And because not many people know my stories when I was growing up, and from there in Karatina, with that band we had a lot of success. In fact, you see, I have a song which I'm singing, Safari Yetu. That's what I'm singing about Karatina. I played in a club there called Rainbow Club in Karatina, and we had a lot of success there and fun until anyway, I'll come and tell you stories later in the coming episode of my stories. Okay. If you listen to this, you think it's like country music, eh? You may call it country, or you may call it folk music, African folk music. This is African blues, Renaissance blues by Adam Solomon, born in Kenya, East Africa, from Mijikenda people. Bless. So, hope to see you in the next episode.